Welcome back to The Real Story. Today we are joined by one very dynamic duo, Joe and Sam Evermore. Sam Evermore is only 11 years old, but has already done some pretty fantastic and impressive things in his life, one of which we are discussing today. So last year, Sam attempted to climb the Matterhorn, an iconic mountain in Switzerland that stands at over 14,000 feet tall. Unfortunately though, things didn't go according to plan, but Sam didn't let that get him down, not even a little bit. Instead, he went back this year and crushed his goal, summiting the Matterhorn and smashing the world record in the process. And when he finally reached that summit, he unfurled the American flag, showing his patriotism and his pride for this country. But I don't want to say any more, and we'll let him tell you more about himself and his remarkable story. So here with more about it are Sam and Joe Evermore. Guys, thank you for being here today. I appreciate it.
Good to be here.
So this is just a remarkable story, and just to get some background, who are you guys and how did you get into this habit of climbing mountains?
It's kind of just part of our lifestyle. We climb mountains. We actually have a written rule in our home that we want our boys to try and climb something every day. And even here, we're in our treehouse today, and so we had to climb up just to get up in here.
Wait, you're in a treehouse right now?
Yeah.
Is this something you built yourself, or give us some background on that?
Oh yeah, we built a treehouse. It's my office just next to our house, so I can kind of get away in the summer from the boys.
That is incredible. So, I mean, do you work in construction, or is this just a hobby? Paint us a picture here.
I do a lot of virtual coaching, and so I talk to a lot of CEOs about how to grow their organizations, how to raise money, and I needed a space, and so I thought instead of having to be across town, why don't you just build the office in a treehouse?
Impressive. It's just so fun, by the way. So let's talk about this summit then. You guys give it one go last year, which is just impressive already. A lot of people would never even think to try that, but it doesn't go exactly according to plan. So walk us through your mindset in that moment.
Yeah, so this mountain is there's timing's really important on it. Like at the summit of this mountain, usually in the morning at like 10 o'clock in the morning, you can't even fly a kite. There'd be like no wind. Whereas at like 3 or 4 o'clock, it could be 100-mile-an-hour wind and total whiteout. So the mountain creates its weather.
Wow.
And you really want to be descending the mountain at a reasonable time. And so there's cutoffs that are placed on the mountain where it's recommended to turn around at different points. And when we missed one of those, we realized we should turn back. But this year was a totally different year. We blasted ahead and we were way ahead of our time and so over-prepared for the mountain.
Really? So clearly you learned a lot of lessons then from that first attempt. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Walk us through some of those steps for people who've never actually climbed a mountain before.
Sam, do you want to share that? Share a little bit of what it's like in the morning.
You have to wake up at 4 a.m. and then you get your harness on, your boots, you rope up in the lodge, you go eat like a piece of bread, some Nutella, and then you start climbing.
Yeah, and it's just it's like a race out the door. At 4:20, the door opens and we all just blast out because everybody kind of one after the next starts this race. It's like when you start a marathon, you're just in the moment. You just have to start moving up toward it. And it's a pretty cool mountain. You're on this knife blade ridge that is sheer on both sides. It's called the Hornli Ridge, and it's it's just nothing else in the world like it. You're always kind of on the edge of this very exposed wall all the way up.
So one thing I've been wondering about too, in terms of Matterhorn and then in comparison to other mountains, how dangerous is that climb?
Well, the week that we did it, someone died on the route that we did.
You're kidding.
And so that tells you anything. And last year, people died the day after we left the mountain. And so, a bigger party. And so it is a serious mountain. If you follow the rules and respect the mountain, cutoff times and things like that, your likelihood of dying is very low. But it's a real mountain. It can kill you, and there's we call it the God factor, where the mountain can just kill you. The mountain can release a huge block and crush you.
Wow. So that brings me to another question for you about how you prepare for a journey like that to summit the Matterhorn. What are some of the steps that you have to take to really get ready for that?
A lot of fitness. But why don't you tell them what we did to get ready?
We climbed like the incline like a few hundred times, and that is like 2,768 steps. And we did that so many times. And then we did this thing called Lone Eagle, which we woke up at like 3 a.m. Then we climbed the mountain. It was like at night when we got down, and we still had to hike out like 8 miles. And then we
Wow.
did Capitol Peak, which is a 14er. And then we did, what was the last one? We did this thing called Bangkok Ridge.
Yes, we did a lot of big mountains, a lot of fitness, a lot of like, just that, so, like some of them were like 35,000 steps, and some of them were a lot of climbing and just, I mean, I tried to put Sam actually on mountains that were as hard or harder than the Matterhorn to really get him ready.
Wow.
And then we were ready.
Wow. I have just one more question and then we'll wrap here. I have to know though, when you finally make it up the second time, you've achieved this groundbreaking goal. Tell us about the feeling for both of you.
Feels great. You just submitted a thing that you had worked on for 2 years. And yeah, it was awesome.
For me, it was really just, you're basking in this afterglow at the summit. But for me, it was kind of emotional too, because this particular goal that we've been working on for 2 years, it felt like as it finished, it was like, it left like a void, where I began to think about like, wow, we don't have a mission anymore. Like we've been working on this one thing and become best friends through the process. And as soon as we can, we need to find another mission. And so
I'm
it's
sure
kind
you
of
guys
sad.
will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I just want to say thank you very much for your time today and for being here and just sharing this remarkable story with us and with the audience. So truly, thank you for that.
All right. Thank you, Riley.
Now today we bring back our poll question, which is this: do you support the new law in New Jersey? Go to OAN's X and True Social pages and vote now. We'll have the results for you next time. And coming up next, NASA has made a fascinating new discovery that's raising all sorts of interesting questions about space. More details after the break.